Hello, it's me. Yeah. Um, so this is Town Lake that I'm under an overpass, and I'm doing this video. This is so remarkable to me. This is part of the overpass. This is under the overpass. These are pigeons, and they're dead. But something is going on right there that is absolutely beautiful. This is like anthropology. These birds are coming here to die. Like you can't imagine someone came and put four birds here. Now it's a strange place, but don't get me wrong. But that is something akin to a crypt or a tomb, and this is totally typical of these pigeons, which are so human, have so much personality. I never appreciated birds for their like they're very immediate. They're like your neighbor. Like they're funny. They each have like personalities, and they have tons of humor. They're very funny. Um, but those birds are coming there to die. And you see this sometimes at some of the gas stations, in which a bird who's on like the last what he feels might be the last strokes of his life, and isn't up to flying right now, or for hours, even days. They will stand around the entrance, but off to the side, at like a Circle K, and it is so beautiful because they're choosing society. They're if it's time to die, they want to be around where people are. They don't expect their fellow birds. The fellow birds are still in their flocks and looking for food or keeping their young, or going back to the nest and keeping their young. Like so, these ones are about to die, and they seek out society. They seek out company. Like they stay out of the way, and like they'll jump out of the way if you try to touch them or anything. But they don't want to be alone. They don't want to be alone as they die. It's so beautiful. It's a mankind is so absolutely diamond hard in his fucking heart. The dogs around here. There's some junkyard dogs. There was three of them, three brothers, look just like my Chuggersworth, Lord Chuggerton, um, Lord Chuggersworth, German Shepherd, but he was a big sausage. But his kin is at this junkyard on Thomas and like 30th Street. And there were three of them, and I went and saw them several nights. And I went and asked the guy during the day, one of them that worked there, it's an auto shop, if I could walk the dogs voluntarily, no charge, because these dogs they're so they start out mean because they're junkyard dogs and absolutely neglected. They get left all night, all weekend. I don't know if anyone even feeds them. They have no just like and there's like tarp around the fence. They can't even look out. People come and like shake the fence to scare them and shit. It's so disgusting. It's so disgusting. But I asked if I can walk the dogs. He said the owner's not here, so I can't give that permission, which is understandable. And he's like, he said he asked which one of them likes me, as though like he knew that one of them was gonna like me. And the one of them certainly was most aggressive. Like he was like he'll cry if I start to go away. I'll sit there for like an hour just petting the dogs under the fence, and like he ripped my coat sleeve because he's trying to retain me. He doesn't want me to leave. It's like the only niceness anybody ever shows these poor things. And the next time I went there, which was like 2 days later, 3 days later, 3 nights later, because I always bring food for him too. There's only two of them, and I'm like, hey, where's the other guy? And one of them started crying. These Hispanics are so fucking despicable. Like, they're so bad to the fucking dogs, and then they know that I like them and that I can't have a dog. I'm homeless and can't support myself. How could I support a dog? That doesn't stop the homeless around here from getting dogs and torturing them by exposing them to their shitty life. But I do not do that. I could not support it. They know that I like them though, so they like took away the one that was most aggressive, like loved me most aggressively. It's so absolutely terrible. They're so mean, Every one of these junkyards has some lone dog. The lucky ones at least have a friend, like 2 dogs or 3 dogs. But like it's freezing. Last night was like 32 degrees in Phoenix, which for Phoenix is fucking cold. It's the desert. And like, do they even have a bed, or are they just sleeping on the fucking cement? But if you ask anybody, they get all mad. It's like, you are neglecting another life. I don't give a shit if you get mad. Like, those dogs deserve better. And these fucking animals, like, people are the animals. Animals are the people, are the better people, like in any situation. But right there, those birds, they're it's the beginnings of anthropology. It's beautiful. It's amazing. Because no one just put the birds there. Like, so I'll go back over to this side. Oh yeah, that's that's whatever. Well, that's in every city in America, in the world, I'm guessing, under overpasses. Someone making camp, and anyways, so right there, like the birds are up in here. You can hear them. They're my good friends. Couple like last year, this around this time last year, my mother informed me that my beloved friend Isaac, my dog Isaac, which was I bought him. I got him from a furry babies at University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign my last year there. He died, and I was so distraught. I literally cried for like a week because like I'd always thought I'd see him again. I don't know how, but the thought of him dying was so remote from my limited brain. I was talking to the birds. I was feeding them. I was like, "Did you guys hear? The mighty Isaac's gone." And like birds, the pigeons are very defensive. And every bird is very defensive. If you come near it, within, arm's distance or legs different distance, or within a yard or two, they fly away. Like they don't trust you, even if you feed them. It takes a while for them to warm up. Some of them they'll see what they can get away with touching you, and it's establishing trust, but they're just being silly. Like they know that, like they do things for me all the time. Like when I come by, they'll all do a big circle pattern around me. It's awesome. Like I said to them, "Did you guys hear about the beloved the mighty Isaac? The mighty Isaac, he's gone." And one of the pigeons came over and just pecked my foot. For them to make contact like that, they understand what you're saying. It's like they have just as intense, endearing emotions. It's like he might as well have given me a hug. The animals are so beautiful. Next to the county jail here, there's a big dead animal plant where like they burn all the dogs and cats that like the animal control picks up right next to the jail. It's like you can smell it. It's so fucking goddamn cruel. I made a video in which that one dog, which was like 150 pounds, became a bear mat on this one of the quadrants of the intersection of a very busy intersection. Like people walking over it every day, the carcass, which had to stink for months and months and months. Nothing. There was road construction going on right now, like literally adjacent to it, and the rotting flesh in the Phoenix sun of the summer, because that carcass was over a year old. It was a flat mat of 150-pound dog rug. It was so gross. I made a YouTube video about it. It's called Sunshine Lollipops and oh my god. Anyways, like animal rights have to change. Like how is a modern peoples and Christian peoples and a Muslim peoples? Islam is like, it was like the original animal rights activists. Lot, his camel was hamstrung, and that's what Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed for in the Quran. Like the birds here have the beginnings of anthropology. They go to die, but they don't go to just die and just like a cat will hide when he dies. He goes off alone to die. But these birds, they're going to be with the memories of other birds that they probably shared these nesting areas with. And there was another part. Uh, I got out of jail in the beginning of like August, and like the next day I had to spend the night at Valley Wise Hospital because I was so dehydrated. They put like 5 fluid bags in me. That's how dehydrated I was. Like I was under the overpass, like 24th Street and McDowell, and there was like I'm just like I could not move because I was so dehydrated. It's like that Gatorade commercial where that guy's like trying to get to the finish line but can't even crawl. Um, that I was that dehydrated, but that right there at the overpass there, bunch of bird carcasses too because they nest above it, and it was as though I was disrespecting the burial place or the place of the carcasses because I was like laying in it and writhing and trying to get my muscles to stop hurting so bad because they're so dehydrated. This went on for like 5 hours. And finally, I gave up and was begging the traffic, and someone finally called. And then I went and had to lay on like a sewage grate, and like crawled over to a sewage grate, trying just to get to the QT like 20 feet away. But then finally, someone called the ambulance, and they took me to Valley Wise. But one of the birds when I was doing that, he like dive bombed at me and like hit me in the head, as though to say, "Get the fuck off that's a sacred place to us." Like animals have sacred places. They have memories of kin and goodwill, and they have like feelings of goodwill like people could. Um, but I saw those bodies, and it just that's beautiful. And when I see a bird, like I've cried thinking about these things, like the birds. They go out and that's so beautiful. When they go to die, they want to seek out company and to not be alone. That's absolutely amazing to me, and I love animals like my best friend in the whole world. Have been for many years, but then they're so intense and emotionally intense. Like sometimes living homeless in Phoenix, I'll come across a couple and they have a dog, and it's like the chick. Yeah, we're all homeless, and I always wear my shirt off. And being homeless, you can't eat yourself fat at least if you can't feed yourself. So I'm maintaining something like a decent body, and the dog will sense that like whether the girl has any intentions or not. Like when I come around with my shirt off, like any chick, like any dudes with if a hot girl walks up, like they compose themselves and like it's like it's you're coming around their kind of camp area. It's like you're coming into their house, and she's just like making sure she doesn't look off. Like we're all homeless, so how good could we all look? But like she composes herself, and the dog notices this, and then it makes the guy kind of jealous for a second or two, and the dog will like he looks at me and he's so worried because he reads the situation. He loves both of them, the man and the girl. So he's like he sees the dog sees the girl getting like you know not gussied up or anything, but just like taking notice and posturing herself, getting her posture right, to look presentable. And the dog's super worried because she's like I also all the dogs know me around here that I come across that I like meet, and they all hear me coming down the street and I sing. So like the dogs all know me, tons of dogs know me, whether I've talked to them or not. And like the dog is like, I'm happy you're here, guy. It's nice to see you, but I love both of these people. Will you just go away and not wreck their thing because it's already on a it's a precarious position. Like they always argue, and I can already see the guys, made jealous or insecure because another guy with his shirt off is now walking around and his girlfriend is like presenting herself, not in a sexual way, but she's just like a normal person, just getting like companies around. So I can't just be, as I am with just my boyfriend. Like the dog sees it, he's like, I already know. Like I just don't want you to break these guys up. They're my whole world. Would you? The dogs understand the situation more than the people do. The people don't even realize what's going on, and they're participants in it. Like I won't get into any of the other stuff, but animals have beautiful cultures, Zoologic anthropology is it's very real with like animals that are uh, proximate to people. They like people get we adopt our cultures from them. It's like hardly the other way around. Like they're copying us. No, no, we all kind of have the same behavior. Like birds, after they eat, they're looking to screw. You see them doing like their mating thing. It's fun. Anyways, birds go to a resting place. These pigeons go to a resting place like a tomb or a crypt, and it's beautiful. And if you see a bird standing near like a gas station near a gas station's entrance and isn't flying away when people come around it, it's about to die. So just let it peacefully abide. Like it's not hurting anything. He doesn't want to be alone when he dies, when the bird dies. It's beautiful. Some people are like that. Uh, Maybe Jesus or some other, once in a million billion. I don't know what your problem is. But I'm serious. That's what it is.